Good evening and you're welcome. So welcome to the Friends and Family Show on Channel 1 TV. We're coming to you live from our studios at 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. My name is Noyo Kwote. Tonight, on this show, we get very emotional. We get very excited. We show all the emotions. We laugh, we cry, and we say everything that we have to say. Everything that has to be said for that matter. My name is Noyo Kwote. Tonight we're going to have wonderful conversations, and I want for you to take a seat and let's take a ride.
Looking for the latest buzz in Ghana's entertainment world? Welcome to Ghana Weekend, your ultimate destination for all things creativity and entertainment.
Stay in the loop with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and then insider stories from your favorite creatives and stars. From music, movies, fashion and art, lifestyle and culture, Ghana Weekend brings it all together. Get a daily dose of entertainment, discover new talent, and never miss out on the creativity that defines our vibrant culture.
Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
Welcome, it's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, Play to Aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tang Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
You're welcome back to the Friends and Family Show on Channel 1 TV. We're coming to you live from our studio at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. One more time, my name is Noyo Kwote. I'm going to be your host that's bringing you all the juice and all the conversations that we're going to have tonight. Tonight, we're talking about something very important, something that really needs to be spoken about. And whether you're in a relationship or probably in marriage, you definitely would have to talk about this. We're talking about managing money in marriage. Yes, I know. Sometimes you do some small, quick shopping. You come back home and you're like, did I do too much? Or probably like, I'm actually affecting my partner in this marriage. But then we need to talk about it. So you know what to do, what not to do. Probably you just take some 2-3 points from us. That's going to help you in managing your finances in marriage. So tonight I have in the studio Victor Elamoga. You're very welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like having you here.
Thank you.
And then we have Carly Metal Tutu, actually. You look beautiful tonight. We have Doris Ahiati also in the studio tonight. You're very welcome.
Thank
very,
you.
very welcome. So we're talking about managing money in marriage. This is actually something that we really need to talk about. You know, having that joint account. Do you actually talk about money at the very beginning of the marriage or along the way? Do you talk about your finances, put all your, your baggage and everything on the table? Like, I'm coming loaded. I'm coming, financially dipped. I'm coming, chale. There's boys say that, so just like the way the girls are going in for the, well-to-do guys or the rich guys already. We don't want any broke girl. Yeah. We are not going with any broke girl. You think that you should lay all your financial details on the table before marriage or when it's going on?
Yeah. Thank you. Marriage is a big deal. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. And actually depends on the orientation each partner is coming from. Because some people date for up to like 6 years, 7 years before they get married. Mm-hmm. Other people 2 months, 3 months, they enter into marriage. Some people too from childhood. So it depends, but I subscribe to the openness. That when you are getting married, you have to be open to each other. Mm-hmm. You trust each other. That's why you are getting into this relationship. So I subscribe to you laying down everything on the table for your partner to see, your partner to doing the same thing. Other people too come from relationship where, their parents advise them on responsibilities, that you are the man of the house, you take care of the bills, and you make sure that the family is safe. So in that case, they make sure they do what they have to do. The woman's money is hers, the man's money is for them. I like
that one. Please say it again. So is it that you are agreeing to that statement, or is an example? Yeah.
So personally, my own is mixed. In that kind of, when it comes to my responsibility, I do it irrespective of it. But we had to sit down, when it got to the time, we had to sit down, and every beginning of every year, we sit down and we look at what we want to do as a couple together, what we want to achieve. Right. And that way we can, make a budget for it. But actually, it depends. It depends on the upbringing, it depends on what the couple wants. Mm-hmm. If you are a typical Ghanaian man and you've been, your family has spoken to you're a man, so you have to make sure that the home is good. I mean, that's what we are all used to. My father told me the same thing. You are the man, make sure that the house is in order. If anything, it's not the woman's responsibility to, do that. So that is where such kind of responsibility on a man comes from. Okay. But ideally, if the woman is working and you lay everything on the table, then you see the 2 years are better than 1.
Hey. Anyway, Doris, you'd want to add to that? You think we should put everything on the table in the beginning?
So I first want to come from, and thank you for having me on the show. It's my first time on this particular show. Transparency helps. And when you were giving the intro, my mind went back to a couple that I counsel pre-marriage. And I had them open up to each other, and then they had to draw a budget. So they had to the man was living alone, so he had to share how he's currently been spending his income. And then the wife-to-be, who was living with the parents, also had to itemize her monthly needs for her upkeep so that they can check whether their incomes will be enough. And then the initial plans they had for life as well, how are they going to be able to save towards it? So I believe, and I didn't do that when I was getting married. Maybe because I didn't get somebody to hold my hand through it, but it's something we do now. We did talk about our finances. We didn't do a budget together. We didn't show our expenses. I think it's helpful for you to be transparent upfront. Having said that, I believe also that there may be different circumstances and reasons that make sense for it to not have happened, such that you may not have disclosed for whatever reason. For example, I'm aware of super wealthy people who are afraid there might be adverse selection when it comes to the spouse. Right. So they may play, and so under circumstances like that, and maybe other creative circumstances we can come up with, it may be prudent. So I think, like Victor, it depends. But I would prefer that we open up about it.
Beautiful. Kale, you?
I think I totally agree with both of them that transparency from the beginning is very key. And I think that when you are good friends, you literally open up about everything. When you're in school growing up, like maybe Ama and then Ajwa, when you buy something, oh, my mommy has bought this new ribbon for me. I have this new shoe. You open up about things without even thinking twice. So when you are even dating prior to marriage, you should be able to open up, oh, Charlie, my salary has come. Oh, I'm expecting this bonus, this 13th month.
Hey, don't go there.
Hey, you open up about your bonus. I mean, I think there's some spontaneity about it. Like you open up without even thinking about it because it's a genuine friendship you are building. Before I got married, my husband could give me his ATM. Oh, go and withdraw this amount of money, use it for this, or send me this money, do this, errands. Yes, and through that, I knew what he had or what he did not have. And so I think that friendship brings about openness. So if you are truly, truly, you know, in love, you are good friends, some of these things come up naturally.
It's not about the friendship or the in love matter. My money is my money, my darling. You know, it gets to a point that you really want to, like, you know, for women, I don't know generally, but some people I know and myself, with them more 5, some also 10. But meanwhile, I can afford that 15.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always
What
tell
I'm going
us
to
that
buy, you
spending
know,
a man's money is different.
it's sweet.
It's
Why are
sweet.
spending somebody else's money sweet? No, it's true. When you're spending somebody else's money, you don't put any ruler on it.
Yeah.
But when it's yours,
Yeah.
there's a measure. You know that, like, you know, I have 20 and it's going to last me for a week. So I need to do 2 or 3 or 5. But when it's somebody else's money, say, 2 do this. So, you know, it's somebody's money. So, you get what I'm saying? The spending alone, you can even buy Lamborghini.
But I think it's also how we are engineered as women.
Right.
I mean, from the onset, from the days of the Garden of Eden, I think God said that Adam would have to labor and toil and till the land.
Amen.
You see, so naturally it's in our being, we expect that the men will take up the responsibility. And even the men, it's also within them. They know that naturally that is how they were made, or that's how they've been engineered to take care of things. Their ego plays out a lot when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
It's true, you agree.
I have friends when the home is not well, like financially,
They can't
Charlie,
see.
they can't. I mean,
Trouble.
personally, if you know things are not running, you can't even sleep. You feel like pressure to, you know, do something, provide. I mean, you are the man. So I mean,
Now I think we need to make room for men who don't feel like that, or women who don't feel like that.
When the things are not going right, they don't feel pressure.
So there is the nurturing which might make some women feel like it's sweeter, it's nicer for somebody to spend on me. And depending on how a girl has been nurtured, they may actually grow up with a certain level of independence such that they are more forthcoming to support you, to lend help. And there are a few women that may actually feel offended if they are not given the chance to economically care for themselves. So I'm just placing it on the table that we shouldn't exclude these people who are like this. And I'm sure there are some men that don't want also to spend. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong.
That's why there's the word "mysa" in the dictionary. They are there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So they are there.
there.
And we might have to try to understand what makes them make these choices so that we know how to work with them. If we live with these people, we shouldn't just ostracize them because you're a woman and you won't let me spoil you, or I'm the man and I don't want to shoulder everything. We should get to the bottom of what makes them behave this way.
Okay, so now let's talk about some financial mistakes that couples make or couples do. Where you get into a marriage, are you rushing to do a, you know, very, very extravagant wedding or waste a lot of money on? Well, if I say waste, it's actually relative. What I would think is a waste won't be you.
Yeah.
I would probably want a very simple wedding. You would want a very, you know, flamboyant wedding. But then let's talk about the mistakes that we make as couples, financial mistakes.
Okay, so I mean, you brought up marriage, the wedding. So let me start from there. I mean, so as we've all agreed that we should be open to each other, when we are about to have our weddings, we should lay everything on the table as couple. What do you want? What kind of wedding do you want? You want the extravagant type? Okay, I want the simple type. Then you list them at the wedding. We do this, we do that, we do that. So you look at what you can compromise. All right. Then you meet each other halfway. Because personally, for me, it's advisable to spend less on the wedding and have a good footing financially at the start of the marriage.
Right.
I know people who borrow to do weddings. Like personally, I know. I know people who borrow to do weddings, and after the wedding, vendors are on their neck for their money. They were thinking people will come and give them gifts, so that people bang their hopes on that, and at the end of the day,
receiving money.
Yes, gift. They invite a lot of prominent people, and people end up not showing up for the wedding, and the gift doesn't come. So then, they use that to plan with their vendors and all of that to do those extravagant weddings, and at the end of the day, then they start the wedding, the marriage on the wrong note. I mean, it's not a good feeling that you start a marriage in debt. I mean, some people too, the cash is there. I mean, so that's why I always tell couples to look at themselves, not copy what is on social media. Sometimes you see people extravagant wedding. Meanwhile, their father-in-law is sponsoring it.
Right. When you're done, he's not going to continue.
They're not coming right that on social media for you. You only see
even
pictures.
That, after the wedding, I don't think your father-in-law is going to sponsor the whole.
They are not going to sponsor the. Exactly. But I mean, the ceremony itself
was sponsored.
There are some families that they come up to to help. Yeah. So for example, if my junior brother is married, I give him some. Let me take care of this for you. Okay. There are some families like that. So before I realize, they've taken about 80% of the whole thing. Beautiful ceremony, but you don't have that, and you watch their pictures on social media that you would want to copy, then you start the marriage on a wrong note. You wouldn't want. Last time it came on social media all over, vendor chasing the person for the money, and he's not coming. After a year, he just posted the wedding pictures. This couple are owing me. They are not picking up. You wouldn't want to be in that condition.
Exactly.
So I mean, you have to lay everything down on the table, do what works best for you. There was a trending issue. Prophet Gideon also married with 600 cities.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What did he use the 600 cities?
I mean, there's a ceremony, a signing a ceremony. So he bought Fanta.
Oh, right. Because I heard him announcing there's no reception.
Yeah, no reception. I mean, just buy Fanta, then
everybody go to your house.
go to your house. 600 cities, you're done.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful. Some people were saying this is a disgrace to womanhood.
Why?
Because he chose to do that and announced it, that he just used 600 cities on his wife. But
I don't think that is their totality will be 600 cities, but maybe the rings are like 15K or something.
Perhaps.
Is it a ceremony? Just a signing ceremony?
I think a lot of self-esteem issues come into the picture when we talk about scenarios like this, where you think your sense of self-worth is in the kind of wedding that you have, or that is in the kind of dress you have put on, and you don't have that self-esteem for who you are, accepting yourself to be good enough, then we create this kind of superficial and fake lifestyle, hoping that will validate us. But it never does. It doesn't give the satisfaction. I hear Victor on couples making the marriage ceremony the event as what the marriage really is. But you see, there's a difference between the event and the marriage itself. So I think the mistake he's talking about is prioritizing the event or mistakenly equating it to the marriage. But the marriage is really your life together after the event. And it's important that it's smooth, harmonious, comfortable, memorable for both of you, you know. If I will add one mistake that comes to mind when we talk about couples, I think it is placing money in the bank account as more important than character.
Please say that again.
Overemphasizing money balances in the bank account or money that we know the people have over their character.
Yeah.
Because there are some people you get married to today who may not have much, but their character is such that DDEP or no DDEP, they are going to progress financially. Yeah. And you can marry someone today without character, who has a lot of money, has lots of businesses, they may have inherited, they may have fallen into some economic windfalls with their businesses. But if the character is not there and a DDEP comes and they collapse, they might not be able to rise again because character is not there. There's the sustainability piece. So this person is using some dubious means to generate all the wealth that you see. And you haven't paid attention to their character. Sika or Beshemi, that's all that matters.
You haven't heard the song. I want to be crying in a Bentley. You're like song. Jairo Matthias with some $100 bills. Okay. You don't like that song. You want to cry inside Bentley. I beg you.
So you can have that situation and then they are found out. Recently, we've heard of instances, bank accounts get frozen, and then what? The money is all gone. Yeah. Right. So I think it's important that we don't make the mistake of focusing on how much money do you have. Ladies, we like to check that, and now I'm learning the guys are also doing it. How much money has the lady?
What do you bring to the
Focus
table,
on the
baby?
Character. Focus on what they bring to the table, character-wise, skills that has the capacity to be monetized. I think those are more important. They are values in life. I think these are mistakes that.
So now let's look at this. Do you think it's okay to lend your partner money, or you think it's a recipe for extreme disaster like tsunami? Should you lend your partner money? Is it okay to lend or you think that if it can't, they might forget that? Because women actually sometimes do that. There's this conversation about it. Yeah. Like, when you give a woman money, don't go and ask because we don't go pay. We'll pay you. But you think it's okay for you to lend your partner money, or the word itself shouldn't be there? Like, I should use the money, say that I'm actually helping or supported, rather than lending you and expecting that you're going to pay me back.
Yeah. So I think lending should be used in that way.
That means you collect the money.
Yeah,
back.
I'll take it. Why not? It depends. So it depends on what you are using the money for.
Okay.
All right. So for example, if it's schooling that you want to do, I don't mind sponsoring. All right. But for example, in some homes, they have joint accounts for the family. Like husband and wife create joint accounts. That's every month they contribute money into it based on their earning potential. Probably the man does more than what the woman contributes in. Then they have a budget, as Councillor said. There's a budget. There are families that have budgets. Right, so you going ahead of the budget, to need some extra money for other things. Ask your man, do I need to buy this? I can get it to you at the end of the month. Why not?
Hey.
I've done it before.
No. You do it and then you return.
I can't add time.
Oh no, but you take the money, then you tell us, I'll bring it at the end of the month, or maybe 6 months time.
I'll bring it back.
I'll bring it back. That's fine.
Until I get it.
For me, when you take it, I don't. Personally, I don't ask, but it has not gotten to that level before with me. Okay. But personally, I won't ask. You get it, yeah. But when you borrow,
and you get it back. Sorry for that day.
Yeah, sometimes she brings it back. But when you borrow, you pay. When you borrow money, you have to pay.
With interest or without interest?
Thank you. I was going to that. With interest.
Without interest.
Or you take it just the way you gave it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
wonderful.
When we learn from you, don't.
We don't have something to lend you.
I think it depends on the terms. Yeah. If you say this is a loan, then we should treat it as a loan. Forgive me, I'm coming from the finance background. My first role in the industry was credit officer. And in my first year of marriage, I actually gave a loan to my husband, documented.
Thank you.
With a witness.
Signed,
his sister.
stamped.
It wasn't stamped, but it was signed. So there were some people, my husband is very big when it comes to church. I'm also trying to be big, but I think his heart is way bigger. So there was a family that he wanted to create employment for. This was how he came by the loan. And he didn't ask for it, I offered it. He was going to go to a bank to take a loan for a micro lending business so that this person said that they could run a business like that. And I said, no, being a credit officer, I won't have you take a bank loan. If the business doesn't do well, we would have to be paying interest in addition to whatever we took. So in that case, I would give you a loan so that if anything happens, at least we are not saddled with that interest burden. And it did happen, where the person says that the people that had taken the loan had mishaps in their businesses, some were in building structures that collapsed, etc. So we got nothing back. Yes. And I was happy that I had stepped in to give the loan. I don't know how his family may have taken this at. It was in our first year of marriage.
Wow.
But I wanted them to understand that this is, I'm a very transparent person, and I want you to understand what is going on here so that tomorrow you may not mistake or interpret it in a way that, yes. So I had to let them know. And when the business went under, I did not demand. We just let it go.
Wow.
I take loans from him. Now, if I need money and I say, give me X, I mean, the natural process of taking a loan is that there's a tenure and you pay back. It's never with interest though. And if I take and I promise a time, I'm that accountable to myself. So I will go to him and I will say, this is your money back. He doesn't always accept it, or he questions why, maybe lecturing. He questions why I would do that. But my training as a finance professional says that if you take a loan, you must pay it back. Yes.
Nice. You think so?
Yeah, I think so. If you take a loan, you definitely have to pay back. For my personal experience, I can give you or lend you, let me use the right word, lend you the money, yes, and then I'll say, okay, keep it. I know that around this time of the year, I'll also have a project or have something going on.
I would need it.
So I would need it. So when that thing comes up, you pay me back for me to also satisfy that, need.
What if around that time, everybody's body?
Hey.
But now the reality on the ground is that the women, when the money goes, it rarely comes back.
Why should it?
but as helpers or helpmeet to each other, if you see that the situation is such that it's difficult, even though it's time for your project, I'm sure you don't heckle him or send a debt collector's letter, send him to debt collectors to come and collect this for you. You find a way and you move on.
Yes, but I think that, as a partner, you should be sensitive to your other partner's needs. So if you know you've taken money, well, emergencies come up and all that, but at least you should have it at the back of your mind that you make an effort to, pay back, if not even all, at least make the effort to pay some part of it so that when the partner also urgently needs it, you can give it back. And the next time it won't be a difficulty if she or he has to give you or lend you some support. So I think that we should all make the efforts to be a bit disciplined and then support each other.
Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We'll be back after this break to take some fun scenarios. I put a few scenarios together, and then we'll talk about them. If you fall into that, you must listen. Or maybe you take one or two out of it. If you don't fall inside to, you put for Kotoje. Next time when you get into that situation, you know how to handle it. Well, you're still on the Family and Friends or Friends and Family show. My name is Noyo Quarter. We'll take a break. When we're back, we'll get more into managing finances in marriage.
Me don't. Gana biana. Ah, go fa jebi wi aba be su en fita no pa. I say baby shit. Manga shi.
Junior!
I'm saying so now for maybe the no.
Sister Coach Pa. It's a winning gas.
I'm used to the why. My wife.
Down Yankana wa.
Ah, Sister Coach. Use gas. Gas ye fast, ye easy, ye convenient.
LPG, let me see your hand.
Poverty makes you do what you otherwise would not do. Wealth makes you live the way you wish to live. But revenge cancels the lines between poverty and riches.
It's either you're saying something progressive, or I'll just tell your wife that I'm carrying your child.
Where is my father?
Now that he's coming closer to the community, my
papi go forget your own plans, so I go figure my own.
All right, you're welcome back to the Friends and Family Show on Channel One TV. It is very interactive, so please keep your messages coming through. We're coming to you live this evening from our studio at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. My name is Noyo Kwote, and I have Victor, I have Nakali, and then I have Doris in the studio tonight. We're talking about managing finances in marriage. A very, very serious issue. Yeah. Because if we let us the money, but again, sometimes we think about it. We think about it a lot. Although we borrow the money, we think about it a lot. And you see, it's just like normal when you take a friend's money, you see the person there, your heart do you gum. But in this case, we live with that person. You can do gum gum gum. We don't care. But at some point, we think about it and we want to pay you. That's the woman for you. Even the person hasn't asked you for the money, you haven't asked us anything. But you know, we have to manage our finances in marriage. We are going to do this forever. So if we take your money, it's okay. Please pardon us. Well, I want us to get into this, a few scenarios. But before we get into that, let's check some messages before we get into that conversation. So I have here, hey, this topic, dear, it's for me. My husband was practically a Dangote. But we would always fight over school fees and whether or not we should continue to take trotro or buy a car. Just last year, I discovered that he had another family for almost 14 years, and his other children were all in private schools. We never spoke about what each of us earned or what percentages should go towards our children's education and other things. We are separated now, and now I will never make that mistake again. Rhoda in Kasabi says, if I be you. Hey, but this is serious.
It's serious.
So how did you find out that like he had another family for 14 years?
Wow.
No. Resets. So you're taking the, I don't want to use the residue, but you know, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then he's pumping the, so who married who first? Because who did he marry first? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like, is it you or the other one?
Yeah.
To say that, like, you know, one is priority and one is just like, you know. But how many? Anyway, let's go to this other one. Say, it is really a good idea to keep a joint bank account with your partner. Or no, it's a question actually. Is it really a good idea to keep a joint bank account with your partner? I'm a newlywed and this thing has been worrying me. Brenda in Kumasi. It's actually going to be my first question after the break. Do you think that we should get into joint accounts? Is it okay to have, is okay for you to have your separate account and I also have a separate account and then we still have a joint account?
I think so. I mean, ideally, marriage should be transparent. Like, you should be open to each other. All right, so about your finances, about your what you want to do, your choices, and all of that. At least you have that one person that you trust that you can open up to. But when it comes to the joint account, this is practically this is what works for me. We all know what each other earns. All right, so I run a private company. My business bank account is different, separate. Okay. But at the end of the month, the business pays me. So that's what I have brought it to the table. We know what I know what she also earns. So what you earn, what we have, you know, I earn more than she does. So there's a percentage contribution to the bank, to the joint account every month. So say every month I'm contributing, let's say 50% of my salary, which would be more than what she does. She also does contribute that. You get it? So that's how that's what is sustainable for the other 50%. She does whatever she wants with it, whatever she wants to do with it. The other 50% of my salary, I do whatever I want to do with it. Okay. But when it comes to school fees, and there are some kind of perennial, how do you call it, expenses that you do, then if we want to do a project together, we want to buy a land, you want to buy a car, you go into that account, and then we make do with it. You know,
I would like to ask, what is a joint bank account? In the example that Victor shared, both parties are funding the account. We also have a joint account in the eyes of the bank is operated by more than one person. So having a joint bank account doesn't mean that you must put money in and I must put money in. Yeah. So you can have, it's supposed to make it easy for you to access it. And my husband pushed for us to open such an account, I think sometime last year or 2 years ago, to make it easy. He's quite busy and not available. So if you have to discuss and agree and move things around, and I like that you said 50% goes in. 50%. So having a joint bank account should not be understood to mean that that's all my bank account in the world. No. It's a certain operational account you set for a purpose. In our case, that is where school fees, everything is. So all the expenses are coming out of this account. And we fund it so that when we need to cover the expenses, we can just go and pull it. Please don't ask me how we finance the account. So that one is there, and then we can each run our different things. Friendship ensures that there's a level of transparency and we understand the runnings of each other's finances. And when it is dry, or when one person is short, then the other person, if they have resources, step in heavily. So those of you who are out there wondering, should I open a bank account, a joint bank account? A joint bank account doesn't mean that in the whole world, this is the only account that you have. It also doesn't mean that all your financial resources from your side, from his side, are in this joint account. It just means that you can sign and do a withdrawal on it, spend from it. The other party can also spend from it. It can be just one person who is funding the account. Only one person puts money in, and maybe the other person is the chief spender. But all these are, so don't be too worried about what a joint bank account is.
Nice. You agree that we should have a joint account?
Oh, yes.
And then you have your own separate account.
I do. I think joint accounts are good for projects, just as Doris and then Victor have said, so that you can plan ahead and then you are not taken by surprises, because savings, you save against the rainy days, so against anything that may come up in time. But just as they've said also, you should have your personal investment plan, your personal finance, plan, financial plan. So touch wood, if a partner is no more, something happens, how do you survive? Okay, if the joint account is available and is still funded, you can fall on it, because then you have access to it. But if you go and put all your resources and all your life savings in that joint account, and one day your partner should bolt away with it, what happens to you? What happens to you? What happens to you? You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. So you should have certain, financial resources that you can have access to any day, any time, in case you don't have your partner's, support, or you don't have him or her around.
Right. Okay, we'll take a few messages and then we get into the scenarios I was talking about. And almost every married woman I meet tells me that when I get married, I should make sure that I have my own secret account, just in case things don't work out in the marriage, or in case my husband-to-be cannot provide adequately. What is your take on this, please? This is Yaya and Hacho. I agree.
Let's
with
take
my
it from
full
you.
chest.
For me, yeah. Secret account. Well, I mean, you can have an account that your partner doesn't necessarily have access to. It doesn't necessarily have to be secret. Yes, it could be a business account that you're operating for your business and he doesn't have access to because he's not a part of that business. He's not signatory to that business, but it doesn't necessarily mean it should be secret. And to the extent that maybe there's a time that the family badly needs some resources and you are still keeping it secret. Meanwhile, the money is there, inside. You are hiding the money.
Witchcraft.
But the man, you see, it's witchcraft. The man is suffering. He's getting headache. He's growing lean. He's getting BP and all that.
Money there.
But the money is there. You are hiding it. That one is no good.
It's something that
it's no good.
Sometimes I don't understand.
No, but sometimes it depends.
We go into marriage. We go into marriage. You know,
it depends on the situation. When the man is ZYZ, when he had the money, he was chewing with other people, and now that he doesn't have money anymore. Sometimes we use your heart now. Oh, I don't understand
what I'm saying. Do you want to be
saying.
with him, or you no longer want to be with him? So let's
say
there's no food in the house, and you keep giving him something that. Gary soakings without proteins, and then he's salt. So he's going to fall sick on you, and now your own economic earning capacity is impaired because you must be turning him and rolling him and cleaning him.
That's heartlessness.
Yes. So in your selfish interest, let it benefit everybody so that he's not a burden on you.
But in an ideal marriage, I think the transparency should be.
Yeah.
You should be very transparent to each other on these things. Nah.
Anyway, so please, how do you,
now just to add on, you know, there are certain situations that partners realize that the way this marriage is going is on the verge of maybe almost breaking up or collapsing, especially when one partner is at the mercy of the other, especially women. So you realize that, the way my partner is going, he's maltreating me, he's beating me, he's seeing other women. Then that one, you have to think twice. You have to start preparing yourself because anything can happen at any time. You have to make yourself financially sound so that once it happens, then you know that, you are prepared to take off by yourself. But you know that, the way things are going and you don't plan for it, as for that one. You have yourself to blame for it. So I think that we're right when you said it depends on the circumstance as well.
So right now, that's everything is you are seeing the thing. You say I go to market 1,000, then you save 800. Then you say, well, the coin, never go ahead.
The whole market.
Anyway, Mary Gufrija says, please, how do you handle a situation where your spouse believes all money should be shared 50-50? But you were raised to believe in what's yours is yours. It's causing a lot of tension in our home.
So I will say, know yourself and know the person you are in a relationship with. I think it's extremely important that before, during the relationship, you understand what makes the quality of relationship you are having with this partner in the marriage satisfying to you. And hopefully you would have committed to live with it. Assuming that you didn't see it and now you are inside the marriage and you see certain things, and it's up to you now to decide what your values are, what your long-term aspirations are. For some of us, we don't see marriage as something matrai makwe. It's once you're in, you're in. So you are just navigate it in a way that helps you to make the best out of it at any stage. So I would say that if you married him and you found out that his principle is 50-50, it's up to you to determine how much peace you are able to enjoy in that marriage when you do the 50-50 or when you don't do it. Ask yourself, how is this serving you? And if it's not serving you not doing the 50-50, it might actually be prudent that you consider adjusting so that you can have. But I would like to understand why it should be 50-50 first.
When they say the man is the head, he's the head in finances.
Yeah, so we can't do 50-50, do 80-20.
Yes.
You see, 80-20, I'm somebody's child. 80-20, please.
That's why he's not somebody's child.
His mother is there. Anyway, so now let's get into a few scenarios, okay? What your partner surprises you with a car. Now, this is to you at home as well. Your partner surprises you with a car using a loan in both your names. What do you do?
Loan?
Yes, surprises you with a car. One for the loan, and both me and Deva somewhere.
And this is my name too.
And both our names. What will you do? Kabaya. What do you do?
It's a bad surprise, not
No,
pleasant.
this is not a surprise to do. Yay! And post on social media. Because it's like you're paying small.
You are paying small.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, it all boils down to communication. So after the whole surprise, now we have to come back to reality.
No, but that is not a good surprise now.
It's a good
I'm supposed to be in that surprise mode for like 2 weeks.
Of course, but
and leave the ribbon on the car.
After 2 weeks, we will have to come back to reality. We have to sit down. So how are we going to? What is the intent behind it? Is it that we have 3 cars in the house and you're going to add an extra one, or is it that we take trotro to work and then you find it interesting that we get a car? So you have to find out the motive behind the whole thing.
But talk to me about it first.
Yeah, talk to me. That's what I'm talking about. You have to talk to me about. But
it's not a surprise. If I have to pay for it.
Yes, it's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
No, but once the car is in now, like now, your scenario is
they can't
car.
take it back to where they bought it from.
No, so that's where we have to sit down. So once we sit down, then we get to know the intent behind the surprise, and then we have to discuss how we are going to find it. It's in our names, Anna.
Hey.
And we have to, it's in both of our names.
So this is like problem that I didn't ask for.
No, but you've got to bring the surprise. Who is going to pay for it? You said the loan is in our names. So you have to sit down, then look at how we are going to plan, how we are going to budget and pay for it.
Surprise that I can't sleep.
But this is the reality.
Your reality.
No, you can't surprise. You said the loan is in both of our names.
Yes.
So you are part of it. You don't. That's what the question is. So we have to budget how you are going to pay for it. And then we have to come to reality. Oh, I don't think probably the conclusion will be maybe I don't think we need a car now. Then you have to find a way of reselling it. I mean, if it's
I'm sorry, but the finance person in me is asking, how the hell did you get me committed to a loan without me signing?
Exactly.
Because in the financial institutions, if you are going to do that, I would have been involved and I would have had to sign something.
Right.
So, yes, it's a very exciting case for us to look at. In reality, does it happen? Not very likely, because the financial institution would require you to bring her to sign because it's a loan in her name too. Yeah.
Unless, of course, maybe you use the joint account.
So the joint
or even that one, you
has
still have to sign. It's both to sign.
You still sign.
But even if it's in, you have to find a way of paying it.
But maybe not to say that your name is on it. The two of us are supposed to share and pay. Why should I share and pay for surprise? When you did a surprise, I did
that's a very big red flag in marriage. When it comes to finances, you don't procure something that you don't have, you don't discuss with your partner. Because if it's going to, if both of you are going to use it, and it's going to directly affect your partner, you don't do that. That's a big red flag. So, I mean, we should watch out for those things.
This is what is red flag. This is where the red boo-boo. No red. Okay, so another scenario. Your partner insists on splitting rent 50-50. But they earn 3 times more than you. Do you speak up or you zip it?
Of course, I'll speak up.
Thank you.
If you earn 3 times more than I do, what are you using the rest of the money for? What is it going into? I mean, is that how we decided to plan our finances from day one? Is this a sudden decision? And why the sudden decision? If you earn 3 times, something like accommodation is basic, is fundamental. You should be able to take up that as a man. In my situation, because I'm a woman. Okay. So take up the big, hardcore responsibilities, and let me take up the minute ones like the groceries, maybe kids, clothing, the minute ones. If your salary is 3 times more than mine, then you should be able to take up more responsibility. Let's discuss about it and re-look at the decision. Because 50-50 will not help. That means you'll be putting financial strain on me. You'll be making me uncomfortable. You'll be making me unhappy. Because, you know, women, we like to enjoy,
enjoyment.
Yes, enjoyment. Yes. We like to be able to go out and then buy something for the kids, change our clothing once in a while, shoes, do your nails, do your hair nicely, feel good. Even you, the men, you are happy and you are proud when you see that we are able to do certain things by ourselves, you know, for ourselves and even for the home. But if you are saying that I should do 50-50 when you earn 3 times, then I think you are being irrational. You are being unfair.
Very unfair.
And I'll question where the other part of the money is going to. What you are using.
Now let's take this one as well. This is a big one.
Yeah.
So you agreed to build a house together. Midway, they start saying, my house, instead of our house. Is it petty? Or is it a sign of deeper issues? We've started building it. I bought cement. You see, I bought cement. I bought block. I bought iron rods. You bought iron. Now you say, my house.
What stops you from also saying my house?
But why should you say my house first?
So I would not leave room for assumptions. I would ask you, when you say my house, what do you mean? Should I also start calling it my house?
Okay. So that's what I'm asking. So is it like a sign of a deeper issue, like a padiata yemi way? Or, you know?
Humans judge a lot. And when we judge, we deny ourselves the opportunity of uncovering more information. So you hear somebody saying something, instead of wondering, are there deeper issues? Just, Charlie, what does it mean? Ask. And you will get to understand more. So that based on the information they share, you can decide whether you should also start saying my house. Well, the homes we live in now, we all say this is my house, right? I live here. So you can also say, take it on the surface to not mean anything. If you are suspicious, please don't lose your sleep over it. Ask. Yeah.
Communicate.
So now this one, I would want for you to answer that. So you find out they invested a big chunk of your joint savings into crypto without telling you. Is this genius or is it betrayal?
It's a betrayal.
It's
a big
Let's
betrayal.
go there.
I mean, we've come together to put and we were transparent with each other. Then we open up, let's do this. Let's do this joint accounting. Then you take the money, go and invest without informing me. That's a big betrayal. And it's gone south.
You come home.
That's a big betrayal. I mean, it's you don't do that. When you do that, you lose some certain level of trust with your partner, and that's not a good feeling at all. That's when someone betrays you. So
Surely.
He might forgive you or something, but when it comes to money issues again, then we find it very difficult to do that. So you don't expose your partner to that. You know, you don't do that.
We'll take.
If you don't mind, I would like to make a reaction to that. So you know, there are some partners that have high financial risk appetite, while others have very low. So perhaps the person who invested into the crypto, he might have thought that, okay, I know my partner doesn't really have high, risk appetite for risk, financial risk. And so he thought that maybe within this period of time, I can quickly invest and, turn around into some profit, and then I'll bring it back into our account and it will benefit the home.
But you have to communicate. That's the whole thing.
So maybe it's even for the first time. He just wants to give it a shot and see.
But
then try with your own money.
Thank you. Not fine.
We shouldn't forget about the dimension of mental health.
Yeah.
we all, from time to time in the course of the day, act out of being mentally healthy.
True.
So I would query, assuming that I don't have a great appetite for risk, and I do have a fair amount of appetite for risk, I would check what was his mental health, the state of his mental health. Maybe he flipped and he did it. And I'm mentioning this, I think May is one of the mental health months as well. And we shouldn't take it for granted that sometimes our partners may do things that are done out of the state of their mental well-being. Maybe not everything is well at that point in time.
Go to us. We know ourselves.
So that we don't just label them. Maybe they were not well at the time they made that decision.
I see. Anyway, well, those are not well, they are plenty.
But I think today's discussion, my advice to fellow men is that, Charlie, the home, whether we like it or not, we as the providers.
Right.
We, especially when children come in, the women are very vulnerable. When children come in, their mental health, the what do you call it, PDS, postpartum depression and all of that. They do a lot at home. You know, that's why they are given 3 months of maternity leave.
Which is inadequate. Which is inadequate. That's what I was about to say that. Because some of us, we have 3 children.
I mean,
we have done carry forward to the 3rd one.
There are some things that we like. We have to face reality. When you leave the children with me, after 2 hours, then I become very uncomfortable. Sometimes my wife can tolerate them the whole weekend. You get it? So we have to balance it with the finance. We are the providers. Okay, wonderful. Let's do more. We have to show that whether we are doing joint accounts or what, at the end of the day, when it comes to the school fees, providing for the home is our responsibility.
Amen.
And we have to show that we, of late, modernization is, bringing up a lot of things that you have to do this, you have to do. It's good. If you get a supportive partner, hallelujah.
Amen.
They support. You like it, you to support, bring us more money, you like it. But the providing for the home, making sure the home is stable, it's our responsibility. And let's do it well.
Beautiful. So, we're talking about the lady whose husband married. Yeah, so she responded, we were married for 22 years before I found out about his other family. So I was original wife. As for how I found out, here be roadside. So sorry to hear this. So sorry to hear this. Anyway, so we just have to go away now. And thank you very much for coming tonight to help us talk about managing our finances in marriage. I really wish that we could do more because there are other scenarios that I want us to delve into, but this is how far we can go. All right, thank you very much. It has been the Friends and Family Show on Channel One TV. We've been live or coming to you live from our studios here at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. And managing your finances, I bet that you've taken 1 or 2. Either you're having a very large wedding, a very flamboyant or elaborate wedding, or you're, being quite moderate about it. And again, either you're having joint accounts or probably saving your own money, lending to your partner, whichever way. And I bet that you've taken 1 or 2 out of this conversation. We'll be back tomorrow, same time at 6 p.m. My name is Noyo Quartin. I've been super elated coming to you at home, at work, or wherever you're watching us from. And enjoy the rest of your evening. I bet that you have a sweet one and have a good night. My love to you always.